Well, Hugo, someone who was at the unfortunate end of a love scam is Jabulile Nxumalo, who joins us in studio to tell us more about her experience. Jabulile, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
A happy Valentine's Day, and I hope that I can still say that, and you know, it still has the same meaning after the traumatic ordeal that you experienced some 3 years ago. Tell us about how you met your scammer.
Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's to you too. Yes, love is beautiful, man. I wouldn't say there's something wrong with love, though I'm very much cautious when it comes to love these days after my experience. But I met my scammer on a dating site. I was like 2023, I'm single. I had been single for a while, so I decided to join Tinder and look for love. That's where I met the scammer. Yeah.
I mean, you know, Roy speaks of some hallmarks of scammers and their MO, their modus operandi. I mean, he speaks about social media being one place where they source information, the love bombing, where they are overly attentive. Tell us about, you know, in retrospect, what were some of those things that you overlooked, those red flags that you overlooked?
Interestingly, I was listening to Rock. When they speak about love scam, they think engineering. They think you meet these people online. Most of the victims, I know I met mine on a love scam, but I also run an NPO which supports the victims of the scam. And they met their scammers physically at the malls, at the airport. When you're going with your friends on a girls' trip, they are there to target women who has money, who has potential to buy. So it's not always online, but I will say what the red flag that I missed was, although we didn't see each other quite soon, but he was early to prophesy his love to me. That was a red flag. With this kind of a scam, because it's kind of different with a normal love scam, because they introduce some form of spiritual element, the ancestors in it. So it's not like a normal love scam where, if it was a normal love scam, I don't give men money.
Okay, so hold on. You are introducing an interesting aspect. You met said gentleman, and his name is Joseph Sekasi, on Tinder. You didn't necessarily meet immediately after matching with him on Tinder. So it took you a bit of a while before you met him physically. Yeah. And when you did, were you in a relationship before he introduced the spiritual aspect?
When we had a first date, after the first date, he, you know, so most of the men, they would lie, they would say they're staying alone. So he had said he's staying alone, so I said, I'll come and see your place. So when I got there, that's when he introduced the ancestors. He said they are not allowed to be in a relationship without an approval of his ancestors. So in that case, they will have a prayer room where they take a victim to a prayer room. It will normally be a normal room with a mini Rondaville house, a room with a sponge inside, a Bible. And whenever they scam you, it depends on your beliefs. My beliefs are more in Christians, so the so-called ancestor that was speaking there was quoting a Bible, speaking biblical terms. So it's not straightforward. I know most people, they look at love scam as you gave someone your money. In my case, the ancestors gave me money. And then...
The ancestors gave you money?
Yes.
All right, explain that to us.
So how it happens, because we don't have a lot of time, in a nutshell, you will go to a prayer room, then there will be that ancestral voice that is speaking. It's speaking through that mini Rondaville house. But I know that they use technology, there's a speaker that they put on, so it enhances, there'll be someone speaking hidden there who can hear you as you speak, making a conversation with you. They make it look like something spiritual. So that ancestor will say, the relationship has been approved. And obviously the boyfriend will play his part, pretending to be happy, ecstatic. Then the next step, they'll say, depending on your beliefs, if you are, they will prophesy to you as well. tell you intimate things that had happened in your past.
Independent of this relationship. So
Independent
this is not
of
information
the
that necessarily
no.
your date knows. So there's an element of divination there.
Yes.
Where they get information about you.
I'm not sure where they got that information, because it will be very intimate information.
Yeah.
Some of the victims will be told you did an abortion on this particular year and you need cleansing. I was told that my ex-husband cheated on me when I was pregnant of my daughter. And it's not anywhere on social media.
That's on social media, yeah.
It's something that is known by me and my family. So I asked myself, where do they get, you see, he was saying they investigate. I'm not sure whether they use something spiritual in this kind of a romance scam, because so after you've been accepted, and then the next phase they'll bring a box that is a kiss size of a box, and then they will say, this is a blessing. So what happened in my case? The box was empty. The boyfriend had said he was going to get that box, which was an instruction from the voice. And then when the box arrived, he called me and said, the bag, he was calling it a bag, has arrived. And once the bag was there, I got there, and it was a box empty, drawers open, it had nothing inside. Then we were told to put our hands inside and pray. After that prayer, you say your amen, you were closing your eyes, you say your amen, you open your eyes, then they push the box inside. Then the voice says, open the box. When you pull it out, it's now full of notes, bank notes. The ancestors are blessing you with your boyfriend. It's a lot of money. If you were to keep it in the house, it's not safe. We live in South Africa. And then the next step will be, because even if you were to take this money and deposit it in your bank account, the bank will never believe that you got it from the ancestors.
Sure.
It's the voice that is saying that. So how they're going to do that, yourself and the boyfriend, you get the loans money. After you've got that loan money, you are told to transfer that money to a bank, FNB specifically. All the victims, I've got more than 40 victims, they were told to open an account. If you didn't have an account with FNB, you had to open an account with FNB, transfer, it's either your pension or the loans money into that account. And then the next step would be withdrawing that cash from FNB at a specific branch. You are told which branch to go to. My suspicion is there is a syndicate that is working on this, and they're working with people internally from FNB. So after that, my boyfriend, he also got his money. I brought the money that I withdrew, both of us. We put it inside the room, and then we leave. They say it will take a process of 3 weeks or so to mix this money, so that when we start depositing it in our accounts, they will use their superpowers. As you were going through this process, I work in a financial sector myself, so I was asking, how am I supposed to apply for loans from different banks same day without being alerted? However, I was able to do that because I think they understand the gaps within the financial institutions. It takes about 24 hours before your profile refreshes. So if you were to take loans within 1 day, you'll be able to do that.
Jabulile, how much were you scammed of?
I was scammed 510,000.
That you had taken a loan,
yes,
and you have had to pay that loan back. All right, we are running out of time. After this whole ordeal, what have you learned about yourself, about love? I know you did say that you are now advocating for those who have been scammed and are granting support to them through your NPO.
I've learned that not everyone is genuine as they look. So I know most of the victims of scams are empaths. If you are an empath, you love people, you take them as they are, you need to protect yourself. Get to know a person. If it has money, whether it's a gift now, because in our case, it was a gift, it wasn't borrowing. There are steps for you to get the money from the bank, but the initial point is, so if there is money involved, just run for your life, I will say so. The other thing is...
Where can people find your NPO? Or access to you for support?
I'm on Facebook, Jabulile Nxumalo. I'm on TikTok, Jabuzwide. I support the victims of scam. And I wish we have so many challenges here. I wish I can have another interview to unpack this, because we have challenges with the police, with the NPA, where some of the cases are withdrawn after the perpetrators have been arrested, because the prosecutor then says the ancestor is not here.
Oh. I can see the difficulty. I mean, I'm sure you understand the difficulty with that as well. Lots to talk about with regards to these scams. I hope that you continue to, maybe that you find love, if you haven't already found love. But all the best to you. Thank you very much for your time. That is Jabulile Nxumalo. More news when we return.